Hey there, family. Welcome back to the channel. Pops here. Today, I want to talk about something that's meant the world to my generation, the true origins of disco music. Now, I know when folks hear disco, they might picture John Travolta pointing at the sky, platform shoes, and glitter balls, but disco was and is so much deeper than all of that. Let's take a little journey together and set the record straight. Disco was born in the underground. It was created by the people who weren't always welcomed at the so-called mainstream spots. I'm talking black folks, Latino folks, queer folks, folks who wanted and needed a place where they can be themselves, let loose, and be free. In the late 60s and early 70s in cities like New York, Philly, and Chicago, we were building that sound in community spaces, small clubs, basements, warehouses. It wasn't about glitz back then, it was about the groove, the beat that kept you moving all night long. That 4 on the floor rhythm, steady, strong, unshakable, that came straight from the heartbeat of funk, soul, gospel, and Latin percussion. See, before the radio caught on, before the record labels tried to cash in, disco was our sanctuary. You'd walk into those spots and it didn't matter what you looked like, who you loved, or how much money you had. All that mattered was, could you feel the music? Could you surrender to the rhythm? The DJ wasn't just playing records, they were storytellers, healers, taking you on a journey that made you forget your troubles for a while. Now, I remember those nights. I was in my teens when disco was just starting to bubble. You'd step onto that floor and the bass would hit you in the chest, not loud to hurt you, but deep enough to move you. We were dancing to unity, to release, to joy, and in those moments it felt like nothing could touch us. Musically, disco didn't just come out of nowhere. It was built on the backs of James Brown's funk, the sweetness of Philly soul, the power of gospel, the spice of Latin grooves. You listen to those early tracks, MFSB, Barry White, The Tramps. You can hear the church in there. You can hear the streets. You can hear the hopes of people trying to find light in the darkness. And here's the part of the story folks don't always tell. Disco wasn't just music, it was resistance. It was about marginalized folks creating joy in a world that kept telling us no. That's why when disco went mainstream, when it started topping charts and filling arenas, there was a backlash. That whole disco sucks movement, that wasn't just about sound, that was about people getting mad because disco represented blackness, brownness, queerness, freedom. But family, disco never truly died. The industry may have turned its back on it, but its heartbeat kept going. It gave birth to house music, to techno, to modern dance and pop. That groove, that 4 on the floor rhythm is still alive today. You hear it in Beyonce, in Bruno Mars, in Dua Lipa. The spirit of disco, that spirit of unity, of celebration, of being free, that's forever. So next time you throw on a disco record or hear a new jam that borrows from that sound, remember where it came from. Also, drop your favorite disco song down in the comments. Hit that like, subscribe if you haven't, and as always, keep dancing,